All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm so excited for this deep dive.
Yeah,
It's a topic I've been thinking about for a while now, and I'm really curious to pick your brain about it.
absolutely. Always happy to geek out about this stuff.
Awesome. Well, for our listeners today, we're exploring the world of information security and product security.
Ooh, yeah, those two are always interesting to dig into.
Right. And I feel like they're terms that get thrown around a lot, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of people, myself included sometimes, don't always have a super clear understanding of what they mean, like how they're different, how they connect, what it means for us in our daily digital lives.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and hopefully we can clear some of that up today.
Exactly. And, it's not just about those basic passwords and firewalls, right?
Mhm.
We're talking about really understanding the underlying systems that keep our data safe in this, like, increasingly digital world.
Absolutely, and I think it's more important now than ever, right?
Oh, totally. Like, everything's connected, everything's online.
Yeah, exactly, and it's only going to get more so.
Right. So we're all carrying around these powerful devices, storing all this sensitive information.
Whoa, yeah.
And I think it's easy to just kind of take it for granted that it's all protected. But there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes to make that happen.
Absolutely. There's a whole ecosystem of technologies, processes, people working together to keep our data safe.
So let's dive into that ecosystem, right? Like starting with the basics, when we say information security, what exactly are we trying to protect here?
Okay, so think of it this way. It's all about safeguarding, like all of those digital pieces that make up your life online.
Okay.
So it's things like, your personal information, your financial records,
Right.
those embarrassing photos from that karaoke night, it's like,
Oh, yeah, those definitely need to be protected.
it's about keeping all of that confidential, making sure it's accurate, and making sure that you can actually get to it when you need it.
Okay, so it's like confidentiality, accuracy, and accessibility. Those are like the three pillars of information security.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a digital fortress around all of our sensitive stuff. But
Yeah.
then how does product security fit into all of this?
Okay, so imagine you're building a house.
Okay.
You wouldn't just focus on fancy locks and alarms after the fact, right?
Right.
You would want to make sure the foundation is solid, the walls are strong, that the windows are secure.
Yeah, for sure.
Product security is kind of the same idea, but applied to the digital world, right? It's about building secure systems from the ground up, whether it's like your phone, laptop, software, even those smart refrigerators that seemed to know more about your grocery habits than you do.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those things are spying on me, I swear.
It's all about baking that security into the DNA of these systems from the very beginning.
Okay, so it's not just about protecting the data, but it's also about ensuring that the systems themselves are secure from the get-go. I
Exactly.
like that, building it in from the ground up. That's a good analogy. Okay, so we're talking about like phones, laptops, software, all these things. But how do we actually like make these systems secure? I remember reading about things like encryption and firewalls, and they always just sounded so technical to me.
Oh, yeah, they are technical, but they're also incredibly clever.
Okay, well, let's try to break it down a little.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
starting with encryption.
Okay, so encryption is basically like scrambling your data into this secret code that only someone with the right decryption key can unlock.
Okay, so it's like those secret decoder rings we had as kids, but like way
Well,
more
yeah,
advanced.
exactly, like
Yeah.
way, way more sophisticated.
There.
And there are actually different types of encryption too. So you've got what's called symmetric encryption, and that's where
Yeah.
the same key is used to encrypt and decrypt the data, like when you're sending a private message to a friend, right? And then there's asymmetric encryption where different keys are used, like when you're buying something online and you want to make sure your credit card information stays CF.
Wow, it's kind of mind-blowing to think about all these complex processes happening every time we do something online.
Right.
It's like this whole hidden world working to keep our information safe.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And I know firewalls are another big part of that hidden world, right?
Oh, absolutely. Firewalls are like those super vigilant bouncers guarding your network's VIP area.
Uh-huh. I love that analogy.
Right. So they control all of the incoming and outgoing network traffic. They analyze it for anything that looks suspicious, and they'll block any potential threats.
So they're like constantly monitoring who's trying to get in and making sure that only the authorized people are allowed access.
Exactly.
Wow, so it's like having a digital security guard on duty 24/7.
Pretty much, yeah. They're working tirelessly behind the scenes.
It really makes you realize how vulnerable we are without these safeguards in place.
Absolutely.
It's a good reminder to be careful about what we click on and where we share our information online.
Totally. You can have all the best technology in the world, but sometimes human error can still be that weak link.
Oh, that's so true.
Right. And that's where security awareness training comes in.
Okay. Yeah, tell me more about that.
So it's all about educating people on how to spot those phishing scams, how to create strong passwords, how to recognize suspicious links, and just generally practice good digital hygiene.
Right, because even the most secure system can be compromised if
Yeah.
someone accidentally gives away their password or clicks on a bad link.
Exactly, you got it.
So it's really a combination of technology and human behavior.
It is, totally.
We all play a role in keeping ourselves and our data safe.
Absolutely.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, it really is.
But I do have to wonder, with all this complexity involved in building secure systems, are there ever any oversights? Like, what about all those vulnerabilities we hear about in the news?
That's a really important point, right? No system is perfect.
Yeah, it seems like hackers are always one step ahead.
It can feel that way sometimes, but software, just like anything complex, can have flaws, right?
Right.
And those flaws we call vulnerabilities, weaknesses that hackers can exploit to get access, unauthorized access to systems or disrupt services.
Okay, so it's like finding a weak spot in a fortress wall.
Exactly. Attackers can use to breach those defenses.
So how do we deal with these vulnerabilities? It feels like a never-ending battle, you know?
That's definitely an ongoing process, but
Right.
security researchers are always looking for vulnerabilities, right? Like digital detectives hunting for clues.
Okay.
And when they find one, they alert the software developers,
Right.
and the developers work to patch it up, essentially fixing the flaw before it can be exploited.
Right.
And this constant back and forth between finding and fixing, that's just like a vital part of maintaining a secure digital ecosystem.
Okay, so to bring it all together, if information security is like locking your door and setting the alarm, then product security is making sure the door itself is strong and secure in the first place.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
They both have to work together.
Absolutely. You can have the best security system in the world for your data, but if the systems holding that data are full of holes, that won't really matter, right? They have to work together in tandem to be truly effective.
That makes a lot of sense. Now,
Yeah.
thinking about my own digital life, I can see both types of security everywhere.
Mm.
Online banking, social media, cloud storage.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's reassuring to know that there are systems in place to keep my data safe, even if I don't always see them working.
Right. They're working behind the scenes 24/7.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing. Every time I log in with a strong password or use a secure app or even just get a security update on my device.
Yeah,
It's like I'm benefiting from the combined efforts of information security and product security working together to create a safer digital world for all of us.
absolutely. And I think it's a testament to how much progress has been made in this field.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible when you think about it.
Mm.
But it does raise an important question. Who's ultimately responsible for maintaining this security? Is it on the shoulders of the companies creating these products and services? Or do we as individuals share that responsibility?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It's a tough one.
It is. I think it's a shared responsibility.
Okay.
Companies have a duty to build secure products and to handle our data responsibly.
Right.
But we as individuals need to be proactive too.
Okay, so like what can we do?
We need to educate ourselves, stay informed about potential threats, make smart choices online, like choosing strong passwords, being careful about what links we click on.
So it's about being aware of the risks and taking steps to protect ourselves.
Exactly. And the more we understand both sides of the coin, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this digital age safely.
That's such an important point, and I think a great takeaway for everyone listening today. Security isn't just a tech issue. It's something we all need to be engaged in.
I completely agree.
So everyone out there, stay curious, stay informed,
Yeah.
and stay safe in that digital world.
Couldn't have said it better myself.